This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Jay Muse, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, and you're listening to the Nerd Corporation podcast. Snooch to the nooch, you cock smokers. Snoochie boochies.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
I do, but where are we going to find rubber pants in all of our sizes?
What?
The clown has no penis.
I'll kill you and then anymore. What kind of dreams were you guys having?
This was a like a Martin Luther King I have a dream, you know? Like,
Right.
It was an actual dream.
Well, it's podcast day. You guys always forget.
God, of course.
We do it every week. Welcome to episode 57. I can do this all day. We're going to be talking about the man, Captain America. Captain America. By the time this episode airs, it'll be the 4th of July, so happy Fireworks Day to everybody. Go America. We're going to skip the nerd news today because we have got our resident gaming con guy. Correspondent. That's the word I was looking.
The resident guy over here.
The guy who games and goes to things.
Yeah.
He went.
He
He
went.
went to Gaming Con.
He went and did the thing, which is why we have that super cool intro that you guys just heard from Jason Muse.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So far, Nick wins the voice spot game. I had the title for a bit with Rob Weedoff, but now it's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
It's going to be hard to top. So how was it, Nick? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, man, it's like a small scale because we've all been to Comic-Con. It's a convention, so it's almost identical, but it was a lot smaller. Like I was saying earlier, they have that part where you walk into Comic-Con, you know?
Yeah, where everybody lines up and all
yeah, that
shit.
was like blocked off. Like you went in and then they had you go like to this weird maze, and then there was like a registration down there. But yeah, it was great. I mean, I didn't have to wait in line to talk to any of the celebrities.
That's dope.
I talked to Jen Cohn, who's the voice of Farah from Overwatch, who you'll hear a little bit later.
Yep.
Paul Nakauchi, who's Hanzo from Overwatch. Obviously, the big man, Jason Muse. I talked to Victoria from WWE for a minute. Wasn't able to get her, unfortunately.
Damn.
I did talk to some other people that, since, they're voice actors, I would have had to pay for theirs, and I wasn't able to. But I talked to, I want to say, is it Cockle or Cockles? The guy that
I don't
is
have any
Geralt.
idea.
He's Geralt from The Witcher. I talked to, I can't remember his name, but he was, he played Raiden on Mortal Kombat. And then talked to a couple, I didn't know who they were, but it was just cool that they were guests there. They were a couple professional cosplayers. One of them was dressed up as Cammy from Street Fighter. One of them was dressed up as
Ass cheeks and everything, I assume.
like even the legs, the things on the legs, like
Very
just
nice.
everything. One of them was dressed up as Misty, which obviously is what drew me over there.
Yeah.
But, they did have panels. They had panels in just like kind of different rooms, and they were a little bit smaller, so it was easier to kind of just sit in on everything. And speaking of panels, I ran into our friends at Cup Scenes and Cupcakes.
Cup Scenes and cupcakes.
My favorite.
Two girls in the cup scene.
Cup Scenes and Cupcakes.
Not to be mistaken.
They were walking around. They actually had a live podcast from Gaming Con, so I sat in on that. That was really cool to sit and listen in on. But yeah, besides meeting all the celebrities, they had just like a gigantic area of just old school arcade machines and pinball machines.
That's
and
badass.
they had a giant screen up, and they were having like League of Legends like tournaments and like Fortnite tournaments, and like just like there was like a big audience area. And Jason Mewes was there like streaming Fortnite for everybody, which was really cool. And then he hosted like a Fortnite tournament a little bit later, because he's a huge.
Yeah.
He's been getting into
Big streamer.
Big streamer. He actually and I thought that like he had this like, you know, giant awesome PC setup, you know. No, he just was lugging around his PS4 Pro.
No shit.
Had a PS4 just
Hell yeah.
from that.
That's badass.
Yeah.
He's a simple boy like the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's all. He didn't have a camera or anything like that, so
You heard it. Jay Mewes plays PS4.
yeah.
Suck
Yeah.
on that Xbox.
Flex.
You know who else plays PS4? Cisco Ramon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Cisco Ramon plays PS4. He said it so on The Flash. So
Hell yeah.
that's
Yeah.
dope, man.
All around awesome time, and I would love to go again next year.
So were they selling like collector's editions there? Because I saw that you were hanging out around this. You took a picture of the 76 helmet.
So I didn't ask the guy if they were for sale, because it was at a display where he was selling these T-shirts,
Yeah.
and he had like the Handsome Collection, the Gentleman Claptrap edition, like on display.
Yeah.
And the box was all like just beat to shit. So I don't know if like I should have asked him, but I didn't. I think they were just maybe on display.
Okay.
But they did have like a retro video games for sale area,
Okay.
and they just everywhere you went there were just like consoles and
Sorry. I couldn't help it.
Old ass reference.
feeling out.
Everywhere you look.
When you're at Gaming Con and you're all alone.
Everywhere you look. Diddly-doo.
Yeah, there were like Street Fighter tournaments. There were people playing Mario Kart. Like there were just consoles, and like people would just show up and just be like, "Well, yeah, I brought my PC," and just fucking like set it up on the table and just play. And I'm like, "That's cool. I'm not gonna be doing that anytime."
I had my Switch.
I had my Switch, and I was playing it like half the time I was there. Too.
That's badass.
But yeah, no, it was awesome, and it's like just strictly video games. Like
Yeah. And you said you got an interview with the lovely ladies of Cutscenes and Cupcakes.
yeah,
right?
they were going around the con doing like mini interviews with people, and after I ran into them, they wanted to do like a mini one with me. So yeah, I sat down with them, and they were just asking me about the con, and you know, if you listen to their podcast, and just a few other different questions. But yeah, it was really cool too, and they said that they'll have that up on one of their future episodes, I think.
Very nice. So go ahead and give them some love. Go to Cutscenes and Cupcakes on Facebook. They work off podcast. I do that shit like at least once every other episode. Podcast. They're on Podcast Addict. I think that's where I listen to them.
They're also on iTunes.
They're also on iTunes. So go ahead and give them a listen. They are very well informed women, and they are just real cool to listen to. Do you have anything?
I think I kind of covered everything. So, but yeah, all in all, awesome con. It's on a lot smaller scale, so it feels like it's a little bit easier to get access to things, and it feels more intimate, especially when you're in panels, because they open up this area, and then there's just different rooms that are divided off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, Jason Mewes' panel is in like room F, and then this one's in room A. So like you're in this room, but there's like a room on each side of this giant room. So it's just
Is there
like,
a lot of people there?
there was a good amount. I didn't have to wait in line to get in or anything, so it was like enough.
Yeah, I'm sure
People-
it wasn't like so choked up. As
No,
Comic-Con.
it's not. It's not like Fan X or anything.
Yeah.
But there was a good amount of people there. So
Very nice. Very nice. All right, so on to the subject of the hour. Captain America is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic
What?
books. Yeah.
He's fictional? Son of a bitch!
I thought his name was Donald J. Trump.
Well, he'd never fit into the suit.
They'd make a suit just for him.
He's too thick.
Donald Trump thick as fuck, bro.
Thicker than a snacker.
Stupid thick.
God damn.
Captain America is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Created by cartoonists Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, the character first appeared in Captain America Comics #1, cover dated March 1941 from Timely Comics, a predecessor of Marvel Comics. Captain America was designed as a patriotic super soldier who often fought the Axis power of World War II and was Timely Comics' most popular character during the wartime period. The popularity of superheroes waned following the war in Captain America, and the Captain America book was discontinued in 1950. With a short-lived revival in 1953. Since Marvel Comics revived the character in 1964, Captain America has remained in publication.
The character wears a costume bearing an American flag motif, and he utilizes a nearly indestructible shield which he throws as a projectile. I said that really weird. That was weird.
Projectile.
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 Project Illy.
It's like
Captain
what you
Am-
would call like redoing your house, like projectile.
Projectile.
Projectile. It's Italian.
Must be Italian.
Captain America is an alter ego of Steve Rogers, a frail young man enhanced to the peak of human perfection by an experimental serum to aid the United States government's efforts in World War II. Near the end of the war, he was trapped in ice and survived in suspended animation until he was revived in the present day. Although Captain America often struggles to maintain his ideals as a man out of his time with his modern realities, he remains a highly respected figure in his community, which includes becoming the longtime leader of the Avengers.
I understand that reference.
I understand that. Right?
Hail Hydra.
Ooh.
What's the what
Who's
is
Hydra?
I know that was like a big deal, but like what?
In one of the recent, I don't know how recent, it was probably
It was pretty recent.
Captain America defects to Hydra.
What the fuck's Hydra?
Hydra's like the Nazi equivalent of, like the
they're basically the evil powers.
Oh shit.
Do everything.
Hey,
Yeah.
There's no reason why he defects. He's just like, fuck America, guys. I've done this for too long.
I'm sure
Fuck
there is.
y'all, pizza people. Fuck y'all, dude. Fuck y'all.
you and your hamburger.
Well,
Fuck y'all, pizza
I mean,
people.
technically, his costume is really Captain Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you're right. all of my in-laws, when they figured that out, were like, all super. Oh yeah, he's ours. He's he's platanos too.
He's frontin', man. He's frontin'. He's really with us, I promise.
He's from Puerto Rico.
Fuck, that's funny.
Alright, I'm good. Captain America was the first Marvel Comics character to appear in media outside comics with the release of the 1944 movie
Cereal.
No, it just threw me off for a second. Captain America was the first Marvel Comics character to appear in media outside comics with the release of the 1944 movie serial Captain America. Since then, the character has been featured in other films and television series. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, the
For
character
those who don't know.
the McCoo,
Commonly referred to as the MCU.
McHugh.
aka
The McHugh.
McHugh.
sounds like a item at McDonald's. The McHugh.
Fuck
Like a
yeah,
McHugh,
dude.
please.
Can I get 4 of them?
That's what you say when the window chick is hot. Can I get a McHugh, baby?
Hey,
Thank you, McBeautiful.
Let me just get a
Can
McHugh.
I get your Mick number? Help! I've McFallen! Let's see.
That Crow did not enjoy that.
You can
joke.
lie to me about the ice cream shaker machine being broken all you want, baby doll.
We'll just go to my house. And I'll give you some of my cream.
Hey.
My ice cream machine's never broken.
It's always producing.
Some sort of cream.
Jesus Christ.
That's pornographic.
I don't know if we can leave that
We
in.
are a family show.
Oh, that's crass. Since then, the character has been featured in other films and television series. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, the character was portrayed by Chris Evans in Captain America: The First Avenger in 2011, The Avengers in 2012, Captain America: The Winter Soldier in 2014, Avengers: Age of Ultron in 2015, cameo in Ant-Man in 2015, Captain America: Civil War in 2016. He had a cameo in Spider-Man: Homecoming in 2017, Avengers: Infinity War in 2018. He has a cameo in Captain Marvel in 2019, and Avengers: Endgame also in 2019.
Jesus Christ.
I don't remember his cameo in Captain Marvel.
I still haven't even seen that movie.
That's a good one.
It is. It's good.
I'm just gonna watch everything as it comes to Netflix now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't remember what the cameo was in that either. But I mean, it makes sense that he cameoed in all of those because the whole point of it was to kind of build it on the backs of Captain America and Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Wasn't
you've
he
got
in
you've got
Wonder
two
Woman,
captains.
Yeah.
What?
Wasn't it's Chris Evans, isn't he in
No, it's
No,
Chris
you're
Pine.
thinking of Chris Pine.
Yeah,
Chris Pine?
Yeah.
not to be confused with Chris Evans, which he clearly was.
Yes. So stop it.
Not to be confused. Not to be.
I said not.
Stop it!
No.
No. I don't know why my phone got all mad about that. But...
No!
I know why we're recording. I
God
just didn't
damn
know
it!
it was Sunday.
You dumb son of a bitch!
No, you idiot!
That's not what you do, Leroy.
We don't say those kinds of things here,
That's not
Leroy.
something you do.
I say whatever I want.
In 1940, writer Joe Simon, not Joel.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Joel Schumacher for some reason. In 1940, Joe Simon conceived the idea for Captain America and made a sketch of the character in costume. Quote, let's do that again. Quote, I wrote the name Super American at the bottom of the page, end quote. Simon said in his autobiography, and then decided, no, it didn't work. There were too many supers around. Captain America had a good sound to it. There weren't a lot of captains in comics. It was easy. It was as easy as that. Yeah, it was as easy as that. I don't know why I decided to just omit a word.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that word. It was as easy as that. I went back. I went like up. I started reading backwards for some reason. Let's see. It was easy. Oh God. It was as easy as that. The boy companion.
Apparently, it's not.
It was as easy as that. The boy companion was simply named Bucky after my friend Bucky Pearson, a star on our high school basketball team. Simon recalled in his autobiography that Timely Comics publisher Martin Goodman gave him the go-ahead and directed that a Captain America solo comic book series be published as soon as
I
possible.
love how it's
ASAP.
the boy companion. Like,
Right.
The boy.
Boy!
Boy.
Can you imagine how easy
You're all right,
it was
boy.
to name comic book characters? Yeah, do you hear about many captains around?
Yeah.
No, dude, call him Captain America.
Just call him Captain something, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. Captain American.
Captain Super America.
Captain Oregon!
Captain Freedom.
Captain Concentration Camp.
Whoa, whoa,
Hold on.
Whoa, too tiny.
Jesus, Fred.
Needing to fill a full comic with primarily one character's stories, Simon did not believe that his regular creative partner, artist Jack Kirby, could handle the workload alone.
Handle?
Handle. I know, I
Jiggle the
had
handle.
a stroke like in the middle of that sentence.
Could hand job.
Yeah, jiggle the handle.
Could hand job then.
Where? Where at?
Could handle the workload alone, and I said could
No,
handle.
I was just making a
He was
joke
asking where the
about
hand jobs are.
Oh, where he can't handle it alone. Why would you ask for it?
I don't know.
Don't do that to him. He needs help. Nick can help you.
Why'd you stop?
Oh, I thought you were done.
Feels so good
It got
when
all
he jokes.
sticky and
Jesus Christ, talk about derailed.
Yeah. Quote, I didn't have a lot of objections to putting a crew on the first issue. There were two young artists from Connecticut that had made a strong impression on me. Al Avison and Al Gabriel often worked together and were quite successful in adapting their individual styles to each other.
yeah, especially because it wasn't just one person trying to solo hand job it.
Yeah.
Hey, one person to work the shaft, one to work the balls.
Exactly.
Mind the stepchildren.
Oh, for God's sake. Just kidding.
Actually, their work was not too far from that of Kirby's. If they worked on it, and if one inker tied the three styles together, I believe the final product would emerge as quite uniform. The two owls were eager to join in on the new Captain America book, but Jack Kirby was visibly upset. You're still number one, Jack, I assured him. Quote, it's just a matter of quick deadline for the first issue.
It looks like it says the two AIs. Like,
That's why I thought about that for a second, and I was just like, no, that's not what it is at all.
The two Terminators really wanted in on this project.
I'll make the deadline, Jack promised. I'll pencil it all myself and make the deadline, he said. I'm like trying to go about it in like a way that
Well,
like
that's why the Jack promised is there.
Yeah, but it's fucking stupid. Like I'm not gonna. It's not you. I know it's not you.
Don't fucking shoot the messenger, bro.
No, not at all.
yeah,
It's
but
just
it's stupid.
whoever wrote this.
Yeah, but it's stupid, so fuck you.
Like, is this guy writing a Wikipedia page or is he writing his fucking solo story? Like Jesus Christ. I'll make the deadline, Jack promised. I'll pencil it all myself and make the deadline. I hadn't expected this kind of reaction, but I acceded to Kirby's wishes, and it turned out was lucky that all I did. Fucking weirdo. But I acceded to Kirby's wishes, and it turned out was lucky that I did. How about that?
That's how that works.
Oh,
Fuck
that
you,
happens.
Wikipedia. There might have been two owls, but there was only one Jack Kirby. I wrote the first Captain America book with penciled lettering right on the drawing boards, with very rough sketches for figures and backgrounds.
Very tough rough.
Tough rough.
Tough rough.
Rough and tough.
With your afro puff.
Kirby did his thing, building the muscular
That's anatomy.
anatomy. Kirby-
Anatomy.
Speaking of AIs.
Kirby did his thing, building the muscular anatomy.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Anatomy.
I put that in your head.
Anatomy.
That's alright.
Anatomy.
Anatomy. Kirby did his thing, building the muscular anatomy, adding ideas and popping up the actions only as he could. Then he tightened up the pencil drawings, adding detailed backgrounds, faces, and figures. That's a weird... So that entire thing was a quote?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Al Lieberman would ink that first issue, which was lettered by Simon and Kirby's regular letterer, Howard Ferguson. Simon said Captain America was a consciously political creation. He and Kirby were morally repulsed by the actions of Nazi Germany in the years leading up to the United States' involvement in World War II and felt war was inevitable. Quote, the opponents to war were all quite well organized. We wanted to have our say too.
Well, I kind of, like, could you imagine being with the Nazis and having to make Captain America?
What are you working on? Nothing. Give it here.
Nothing. It says I work on nothing.
What is this Captain America?
Bullshit.
Dead right there.
This is Scheiße!
I don't know if this gets into it, but just got to bring up that's one of the most Isn't that from the first edition or the first issue of Captain America where he's punching the
where
Nazi?
when he punches Hitler.
Yeah, it's Hitler. I thought it was just Nazi.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Like that's the cover.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just him just decking Hitler in the
I
mouth.
kind of always figured that Captain America was just like American propaganda,
Well, I mean
Like-
that's
right?
You know.
You're not wrong.
yeah.
I mean, I guess using the word
I mean, that was-
propaganda in this light is kind of derogatory. And
Like
it's
I mean,
not
it was,
necessarily
it was
what
a
I mean.
response.
Yeah.
You know, it was a complete and total
It's
knee-jerk
like,
response
fuck yeah,
to
America,
the war.
let's go to
And
war.
yeah,
and-
exactly.
yeah.
Like it was just a response to that, and just the whole like America was just in this huge thing of, you know, just this mass patriotism, and that was part of it.
Yeah.
It was like it's comparative to like a Joyner Lucas video.
I'm more interested in that aspect of this shit than the actual comic itself, because I think it's so fucking cool, like, the way that people go about
Oh,
making
yeah.
this shit.
Should have made another Captain America.
What were you trying to say about Joyner Lucas?
I was like the way that they make this
Yeah.
would be like how Joyner Lucas addresses like all these political points in his videos.
I don't get the.
I'm trying
I
to
don't know
modernize it.
I don't know who. Johnny
I know what you're
Lucas
trying to
is.
say. So are you trying to say like the music video that he did in the cathedral and
Yeah.
he was like bitching at Tommy Lauren and all
And then like the one where the I ain't a racist video or whatever.
I'm not a racist.
Okay, now I know. I've seen that video.
Yeah. So it's like
what's the name of that song?
I'm not a racist.
Is it really called that?
Yeah.
I thought it was something a little bit smarter than that.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
Are you a multi-million-dollar rapper, Cole? No, you're not, so shut up.
You said it.
That's right. That's right.
Damn right. Captain America Comics #1, cover dated March of 1941, and on sale December 20th of 1940, a year before the attack on Pearl Harbor, but a full year into World War II, showed the protagonist punching Nazi leader Adolf Hitler.
There you go.
It sold nearly 1 million copies.
Fuck yeah. Fuck you, Hitler.
While most readers responded favorably to the comic, he could be. They could have podcasts down there.
That's true.
Oh, that's right. He's down there.
That's part of
Oh, fuck.
that's part of his own personal hell. Is he has to like listen in whenever anyone in the world is talking shit about him.
He just hears it all. I was
Yeah.
like, or I thought you were going to say that's his own personal hell. He has to listen to our podcast. Like,
Yeah, that's his hell.
Yeah,
He has to
It
listen
could
to
just
us.
be, dead.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It could just be like eternal darkness.
That shit was funny, dude, because you were like, "Oh, Captain America Comics #1."
oh,
That's why I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh God!"
I did not. I just was reading it.
No,
I
no,
didn't know
it's
that I didn't
it's
know.
not. It
I
had
didn't
nothing to
even
do with
notice
you.
it all.
Yeah, I did.
Personally, but
It's just like you were like, "Fuck, Captain America, novel #1."
I mean, I can do it again.
No.
I was just pointing it out. It's
It just sounded funny. That's all.
I don't even know where I'm at.
Wild Most.
we're at Cole's house.
Oh, okay.
What you quoted as the bad part of town. Thank you for that. Now everyone thinks I live in a bad part of town.
This is not the bad part. The down by the fairgrounds. That's the shitty
That's a-
part.
Hey,
of town.
remember when I explained that I made that as a joke?
I don't even remember you saying.
Everyone
that, in
that
the
comes
first
up to
place.
me, they're like,
I think it was.
"Do you live in a bad part of town?" And I was like, "No, I fucking don't."
Oh, it's too funny.
Wait, people are coming up to you about the podcast?
Some of them.
Yeah, nobody over here. Shit. Let's see. Oh,
It sold nearly 1 million copies.
okay. While most readers responded favorably to the comic, some took objection, threatening letters and hate mail. Some people really opposed what Cap stood for. The threats, which included menacing groups of people loitering out on the street outside of the offices, proved so serious that the police protection was posted, with New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia personally contacting Simon and Kirby to get his support.
Christ.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, we haven't always hated Nazis, apparently.
It really do be like that sometimes,
Though preceded as a Good God.
Patriarchally.
Patri broccoli.
Patriocalypse.
What do they mean, though preceded? By MLJ's...
Though preceded as a patriotically themed superhero by MGL's The Shield.
I don't think they mean preceded.
Perceived, maybe?
Perceived, maybe, yeah.
They probably mean perceived.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
Come on, peer reviewers.
Right? Though perceived as a patriotically themed superhero by MLJ's The Shield, Captain America immediately became the most prominent and enduring of that wave of superheroes introduced.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Introduced?
See, but that makes sense.
It's like a combination of like introduced and inducted.
Doesn't that make sense though? Because he's talking about another.
Well,
He's preceding the Shield. The Shield is another superhero.
oh, I see.
So
Okay,
it's
so he
saying
was
though preceded as
was preceded
Yeah.
by a different.
It's just fucking. It's just
Oh.
fucking worded weird.
Yeah.
I thought that the Shield was like perceiving him as.
So here's what I'll do. I'm going to switch this around a little bit. So we're going to say, though MLJ's The Shield preceded him as a patriotically themed superhero, Captain America immediately became the most prominent and enduring of that wave of superheroes introduced in American comic books prior to and during World War II, as evidenced by the unusual move at the time of premiering the character in his own title instead of an anthology title first. This popularity drew the attention and a complaint from MLJ that the character's triangular shield too closely resembled the chest symbol of their Shield character. In response, Goodman had Simon and Kirby create a distinctive round shield for issue 2, which went on to become an iconic element for the character. With his sidekick Bucky, Captain America faced Nazis, Japanese, and other threats to wartime America, and led the Allies. Stanley Lieber, now better known as Stan Lee.
Yay!
Yeah, no, it was just America and the Allies.
Well, yeah.
You said and led the Allies.
I don't remember saying led, but...
Yeah, that's what you did.
I think you did.
Well, hold on. Oh, Jesus, calm down.
Someone's getting murdered.
Or doing a murder. You don't know. Maybe that was her war cry. So I'll just do that last
Y'all
one.
doing a murder?
Y'all doing a murder out there? Let's see. And other threats to wartime America and the Allies. Stanley Lieber, now better known as Stan Lee, contributed. What? Oh,
The
Yes.
goat.
the goat for sure. Contributed to the character in issue 3 in the next filler text story. Captain America foils the traitor's revenge. That's quite a mouthful for a fucking title. Which introduced the character's use of his shield as a returning throwing weapon. Captain America soon became Timely's most popular character and even had a fan club called the Sentinels of Liberty, because of course it was called that.
Yeah. In post-war era, with the popularity of superheroes fading, Captain America led Timely's first superhero team, the All-Winners Squad.
No losers here, pal.
No, everyone gets participation.
He-Man woman
trophies.
haters!
You a loser, get the fuck out, alright?
In its two published adventures in All-Winners Comics, number 19 and number 21, Fall-Winter 1946, there was no issue 20. That's weird.
That's fucked up.
Probably
Maybe-
because they were just like, that's a stupid name.
We
Pull the
don't
cord.
talk about issue 20. Erase it.
Yeah, they probably fucked up.
Yeah.
They probably just fucked up in their numbering.
Yeah, they probably meant to say 20.
There could have been a recall of 20. You know
There's
what I'm saying?
Technically,
But then
21.
they would have known about it. They're saying
Technically,
there was
wouldn't
no.
issue 21 be 20 because it's right after 19?
21.
21? You stupid.
After Bucky was shot and wounded in 1948, Captain America's story...
In a 1940.
Oh, okay, I was like, what? Hold on.
Hold a minute.
Is this another stupid
Hold
title?
Hold up. After Bucky was shot and wounded in a 1948 Captain America story, He was succeeded by Captain America's girlfriend, Betsy Ross, who became the superheroine Golden Girl.
I love the Golden Girls.
Hell yeah.
I like the.
Can we have an episode on the Golden Girls?
We
Fuck
should.
yeah, dude.
Oh, we should totally have a
Fuck
Golden
yeah,
Girls
bro.
episode.
Can we somehow gain access to the super heroine Golden Girls?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
See, I mean, even just regular heroine's pretty good.
Yeah, why
this
not?
super heroine has got to be fantastic.
You only got to take a little bit to leave.
I think it's called fentanyl, and it's called not fucking people.
Well, it's like the
No,
Mitch
it's-
Hedberg joke. I'm
it's
addicted
kratom.
to heroin.
Oh,
I need to be saved by beautiful women. Or
Yeah.
I know I need to have sex with beautiful women who have saved people. That's what the joke is.
Captain America comics ran into... I'm sorry, that's what the joke.
Because I was sad I fucked it up.
That's what the.
I ruined it.
That's
I
what the-
ruined it.
That's,
Jesus.
That's what the.
That's the joke. I'm no good.
I quit, guys. I gotta
I'm
go.
awful.
I'm disappointed in me. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Captain America comics ran until issue number 73, July 1949, at which time the series was retitled Captain America's Weird Tales for 2 issues. He really had a problem with
Who
this.
is naming these?
Yeah.
Like,
With the finale being a horror suspense anthology issue with no superheroes, Atlas Comics...
What the
Oh,
fuck?
no, with the finale being a horror suspense anthology issue with no superheroes, Atlas Comics attempted to revive its superhero titles when it reintroduced Captain America along with the Human Torch and the Submariner in Young Men number 24. Billed as Captain America Commie Smasher,
Fuck. Yes.
They do
Fuck
not mince
communism.
words.
okay, I retract what I asked. Who was naming these? Now they have
redeemed
totally
them.
redeemed themselves.
Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber.
Yeah.
Captain America appeared during the next year in Young Men number 24 through 28 and Men's Adventures number 27 and 28.
Okay, I'm back on my who's naming this bullshit now.
Men's Adventures.
You guys read Young Men?
What about Men's Adventures? You want to read some Men's Adventures with me? Let's go around the corner in the alleyway and read
I got
some
Young
Men's
Men
Adventures.
number 24 over there.
Oh, dude, don't be gay.
As well as in issues number 76 and 78 of an eponymous title. Atlas's attempted superhero revival was a commercial failure, and the character's title was cancelled with Captain America number 78 in September of 1954.
In the Human Torch story titled, that was weird.
The Human Torch gets a bank loan.
Is denied a bank loan.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's denied a bank loan.
That's issue number 2.
Yeah.
In the Human Torch story titled Captain America in Marvel Comics Strange Tales number 114 in November 1963, writer-editor Stan Lee and artist and co-plotter Jack Kirby depicted the brash young Fantastic Four member Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, in an exhibition performance with Captain America, described as a legendary World War II and 1950s superhero who has returned after many years of an apparent retirement. That was one hell of a fucking sentence. With lots of commas. The 18-page story ends with this Captain America revealed as an imposter. It was actually the villain, the Acrobat.
God damn it.
What a stupid fucking villain name.
Dun, dun, dun.
The
I am the acrobat.
I'm going to flip on you. Flippy dippy.
This is what I do.
Why is my rope not hung up yet? I need to have it up to flip on my enemies.
I need my trapeze.
Why is he Russian?
Because it's
'Cause
Captain
Russia-
America.
yeah, fuck communism, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It was actually the villain, the Acrobat, a former circus performer the Torch had defeated in Strange Tales number 106, who broke 2 thieves out of jail hoping to draw the police away while trying to rob the local bank. Afterwards, Storm digs out an old comic book in which Captain America is shown to be Steve Rogers. A caption in the final panel says that this story was a test to see if readers would like Captain America to return. According to Lee, fan response to the tryout was very enthusiastic.
Caption America.
They made fucking Captain America try out. You don't make Captain America try out.
Bitches.
Fuck.
Captain America was then formally reintroduced in the Avengers #4 in March of 1964, which explained that in the final days of World War II, he had fallen from an experimental drone plane into the North Atlantic Ocean and spent decades frozen in a block of ice in a state of suspended animation.
Like you do.
Just
As is tradition.
as is tradition.
You don't fuck with tradition.
All right.
Are you finished? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Can we continue?
Can I finish? Let's see. Okay. The hero found a new generation of readers as leader. That was weird. I was
Leader's
like,
a hard word. It's fine.
yeah, you couldn't get through your last reading. Times.
Fair.
Because I was gonna expect it to say readers as leaders for some reason, but it just said leader, so it threw me off.
Yeah.
The hero found a new generation of readers as leader of that superhero team. Following the success of other Marvel characters introduced during the 1960s, Captain America was recast as a hero, quote, haunted by past memories and trying to adapt to 1960s society, end quote. After then guest starring in the feature Iron Man in Tales of Suspense number 58 from October of 1964, Captain America gained his own solo feature in that split book beginning the following issue number 63, from March of 1965, which retold Captain America's origin through issue number 71 from November of 1965, was a period feature set during World War II, and it co-starred Captain America's Golden Age sidekick Bucky.
Yay!
Woo!
I love Bucky.
Bucky's pretty great. Who was Sebastian Stan. That was his name, right?
Is
Yeah,
it?
that name was just on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know why, but I think I read something in the news lately that isn't someone from the MCU gay now? It's not. Was it Bucky or was it the?
I don't think so.
It was Iceman.
Iceman? Who's Iceman?
From the
He's an
X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men.
Or I thought it was the guy from Iron Man who does the other suit.
Oh,
Rhodey?
Rhodey.
Is
James
that who it is?
Rhodes.
I can't remember. It was either Bucky or it was him. But they're like, he's the first openly gay MCU character.
No, that's
like-
Iceman.
Really?
But like, well, that's the first comics, but like they didn't really address that in any MCU.
I'll have to look
stuff.
it up. I remember I read something.
Because
It might have been.
But, like-
aren't those old X-Men movies, like, they're not considered MCU?
No,
are they?
no.
No.
But
Yeah.
plus, like, you
They're too
can't
bad
really
for
call a
that.
character openly
Yeah.
gay if that's never ever at all discussed.
Yeah.
Like, you,
No, I
you
just,
can't be like,
I
"Hey,
just-
look at how gay they are if they never do anything.
It's so
remotely-"
open!
Yeah, like.
I just remember reading something about it.
But,
Kirby drew all but 2 of the stories in Tales of Suspense, which became Captain America with number 100 in April 1968. Gil Kane and John Romita Sr. each filled in once.
as part of the aftermath.
We're just sitting here in suspense.
Come on.
Bated breath over here.
Well, quit baiting. Stop it. There are people around. Do that on your own time.
Oh, baiting.
I thought
Love
I
me
was
some
getting
baiting.
bait, and I ended up with Switch. It's from Dr. Horrible.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't know that because I've never seen that. I just was laughing
Oh,
at the
it's
joke.
so good, though.
What was it? I thought I was getting baited.
Well, okay, so in Dr. Horrible, there's this supervillain team called Bait and Switch. So one of them is named Bait, the other one's named
Oh.
Switch. And one of the henchmen of Dr. Horrible was like, "Yeah, I went out on this date. I thought I was getting bait, but it was Switch." So he got the Bait and Switch
Okay.
with Bait and Switch. But oh right, okay. As part of the aftermath of Marvel Comics company crossover storyline Civil War, Steve Rogers was ostensibly killed in Captain America Volume 5, Number 25 in March of 2007. The storyline of Rogers' return began in issue 600. Rogers, who was not dead but caroming?
What?
Is that supposed to say careening? Or
Ca-
I,
Careening?
Caroming?
That sounds right.
Maybe it was just roaming? Roaming through time?
Is caroming a word?
I'm gonna find out.
It's not one I'm familiar with.
I know all the words.
I know them all.
Carome. Make a carome. Strike and rebound. What? What is a carome? I can't make a carome if I don't know what a carome is.
You gotta know what a Kareem is to know
Any
what a
strike and rebound as. So the definitions are any strike and rebound as a ball striking a wall or a shot in pool in which the cue ball hits two balls in succession.
So he was
I don't think he
ricocheting
was-
through
So
time?
careening will be fine.
I don't think he was
We'll just,
shooting billiards in
we'll
space.
just change it to
but-
careening.
Snooker!
Rogers, who was not dead but careening through time, returned to the present day in the 6-issue miniseries Captain America Reborn in September 2009 to March 2010. After Rogers' return, Barnes, at Rogers' insistence, continued as Captain America beginning in the one-shot comic Captain America, who...
That's part of the
I
title.
didn't realize that was a colon. Okay. All I saw was the bottom, so I thought it was a period.
If I had a
Because
nickel.
all I do is look at the bottom.
If I had a nickel. I didn't realize that was the colon.
I was just looking at
Oh,
the
sorry, I
bottom.
didn't realize that was the colon.
Every fucking time.
After Rogers' return, Barnes, at Rogers' insistence, continued as Captain America, beginning in the one-shot comic Captain America, Who Will Wield the Shield, in February 2010. While Bucky Barnes continued adventuring in the pages of Captain America, Steve Rogers received his own miniseries, Steve Rogers Super Soldier, as well as taking on the leadership position in a new Secret Avengers ongoing series.
Rogers' battle experience and training made him an expert tactician and an excellent field commander, with his teammates frequently deferring to his orders in battle. Thor has stated that Rogers is one of the very few humans he will take orders from and, quote, follow through the gates of Hades, end quote. Rogers' reflexes and senses are extraordinarily keen. He has blended Aikido, boxing, judo, karate, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and gymnastics into his own unique fighting style. Years of practice with his near indestructible shield make him able to aim and throw it with almost unerring accuracy. His skill with his shield is such that he can attack multiple targets in succession with a single throw, or even cause a boomerang-like return from a throw to attack an enemy from behind. In canon, he is regarded by other skilled fighters as one of the best hand-to-hand combatants in the Marvel Universe, limited only by his human physique. Although the Super Soldier Serum is an important part of his strength, Rogers has shown himself still sufficiently capable against stronger opponents, even when the serum has been deactivated, reverting him to his pre-Captain America physique.
I love in the first Captain America movie when it was showing his origin, when he was, before he got turned into Captain America, the CGI just made him look like it was uncomfortable for me to see.
Yeah, to see his face on some frail person's body.
Like his head was the same size, but he was just like
super thin. Yeah. That is like the best.
I wish you guys could see this.
Oh my god.
Do it again. Do it again.
He did it so perfect.
Oh god, that's fucking awesome. Because that's exactly what it is, too.
That's exactly what it looks like.
He was wafer thin.
Holy fuck.
Oh god.
Stan Lee claimed that he'd, quote, always been fascinated by the fact that although Captain America has the least spectacular superpower of all, the mantle of leadership falls naturally upon him, as though he was born to command. Cap is one of the hardest hero characters to write, because the writer cannot use some exotic superpower to make his episodes seem colorful. All he has to serve him are his extraordinary combat skills, his shield, and his unquenchable love for freedom and justice, unquote.
That just sounds hilarious.
If it was anybody else but Stan Lee saying that, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Unquenchable love for freedom.
his unquenchable.
He's got the biggest freedom
His
boner.
unquenchable love for freedom and justice.
He's got the biggest freedom
Excelsior.
boner you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Rogers has a vast U.S. military knowledge and is often shown to be familiar with ongoing classified Defense Department operations. He is an expert in combat strategy, survival, acrobatics, parkour, military strategy, piloting, and demolitions. Despite his high profile as one of the world's most popular and recognizable superheroes, Rogers has a broad understanding of the espionage community.
Roger.
Largely through his ongoing relationship with Sheldon. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I was like,
Roger. Like, who?
what are we talking about?
Roger.
Roger.
Roger Rogers. Alright. The super soldier serum enhances all of his metabolic functions and prevents the buildup of fatigue poisons in his muscles, giving him endurance far in excess of an ordinary human being. This accounts for many of his extraordinary feats, including bench pressing up to 1,100 pounds or 500 kilograms as a warm-up and running a mile or 1.6 kilometers in less than a minute or 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers
Jesus
per hour.
Christ.
Lord almighty. Nearly twice the maximum speed achieved by the best human sprinters. Furthermore, his enhancements are the reason why he was able to survive being frozen in suspended animation for decades. He is highly resistant to hypnosis or gases that could limit his focus. The secrets of creating a super soldier were lost with the death of its creator, Dr. Abraham Ernskine. In the ensuing decades, there have been numerous attempts to recreate Ernskine's treatments, only to have them end in failure. Even worse, the attempts have instead often created psychopathic supervillains, of which Captain America's 1950s imitator and Nuke are the most notorious examples. Steve Rogers is often considered to be the pinnacle of human potential and operates at peak physical performance due to his enhancement, where did that come from? Due to his enhancement via the super soldier serum.
But sometimes he does need tune-ups here and there.
Yeah.
So that he can continue running at peak performance.
Super soldier
So
serum.
he needs to continue to get injected. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm making shit up because it was like it's talking
I
about
need-
peak
I need,
performance and
I
it
need
made
more-
him sound
I
like
need
a.
more of the juice. Where's the juice?
It made him sound like a car.
Oh, sorry.
He needs an oil change now and then.
Needs his carburetor too.
Captain America has used multiple shields throughout his history, the most prevalent of which is a nigh-indestructible disc-shaped shield made from an experimental alloy of steel and the fictional vibranium. Vibranium is fucking awesome, so shush.
It's used in all sorts of dildos, okay? It's a real fucking thing, okay?
It totally works. The shield was cast by American metallurgist.
Metallurgist.
Yeah, I know how to say it.
Metalingus.
I just, for some reason, could not.
Colonel Angus.
Colonel Angus.
Oh, Colonel Angus.
The shield was cast by American metallurgist Dr. Myron McLean, who was contracted. I was going to say contacted, but I thought I could maybe slip the R in there.
We're never going to finish this.
The shield was cast by American metallurgist Dr. Myron McLean, who was contracted by the U.S. government from the orders of the president. Oh, God damn it! From orders of the. I keep wanting to put the. From orders of President Franklin D. Roosevelt to create an impenetrable substance to use for tanks during World War II. This alloy was created by accident and never duplicated, although efforts to reverse engineer it resulted in the discovery of adamantium. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It all comes full circle.
Just like a thrown dog.
Yeah.
Captain America often uses his shield as an offensive throwing weapon. The first instance of Captain America's trademark ricocheting shield toss occurs in Stan Lee's first comics writing. The 2-page text story, Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge. Excuse me. In Captain America Comics number 3, May 1941. The legacy of the Shield, among other comics characters, includes the time-traveling mutant superhero Cable, telling Captain America that the Shield still exists in one of the possible futures. Cable carries it into battle and brandishes it as a symbol.
That's fucking badass, dude.
When without his trademark shield, Captain America sometimes uses other shields made from less durable metals such as steel, or even a photonic energy shield designed to mimic a vibranium matrix. Rogers, having relinquished his regular shield to Barnes, carried a variant of the energy shield which can be used with either arm, and used to either block attacks or has an improvised offensive weapon able to cut through metal with relative ease. Much like his vibranium shield, the energy shield can be thrown, including ricocheting off multiple surfaces and returning to his hand.
Was he ever just, at any point, completely just without any form of shield?
I don't think so.
I was thinking about that just like as we were going through that part. I was like, because I haven't read any of his comics. Like
I've read a few. I haven't read enough to know.
I would guess that there was some point where that was like an important part of the plot where he didn't have his shield,
where he had like lost it or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know about like any
Him
time
overcoming
period.
that adversity of not having
Exactly. Like, I don't know of any like large amount of time that he didn't have it.
Just picturing him, just like I don't know what to do with my hands.
He still throws things like
Like
still makes the action
like
kind of like a dog.
There's no shield there.
Captain America's uniform is made out of a fire retardant material, and he wears a lightweight, bulletproof Duralumin. Duralumin scale armor beneath his uniform for added protection. Originally, Rogers' mask was a separate piece of material, but an early engagement had it dislodged, thus almost exposing his identity. To prevent a reoccurrence of the situation, Rogers modified the mask with connecting material to his uniform, and added an added benefit of which extending his armor to cover his previously exposed neck. As a member of the Avengers, Roger has an Avengers priority card, which serves as a communications device. That's a really weird part of that.
Second only to the neck.
I thought it was like a credit card or something.
It gets him discounts at many locations.
What can black do for you?
What can red, white, and blue do for you? Captain America has used a custom specialized motorcycle modified by the SHIELD Weapons Laboratory, as well as a custom-built battle van constructed by the Wakanda Design Group with the ability to change its color for disguise purposes, such as red, white, and blue, obviously, and fitted to store and conceal the custom motorcycle in its rear section with a frame that allows Rogers to launch from the vehicle riding it.
Nice.
100% flawless.
Captain America has faced numerous foes in over 70 years of published adventures. Many of his recurring foes embody ideologies contrary to the American values that Captain America is shown to strive for and believes in. Some examples of these opposing values are Nazism, Red Skull and Baron Zemo, neo-Nazism, Crossbones, Dr. Faustus, technocratic fascism, AIM and Arnim Zola, communism, Alexander Lukin, anarchism, Flag Smasher, and international and domestic terrorism, being, of course, Hydra.
See, that's what you were hailing, Cole.
Hail Hydra.
Don't take kindly to your kind around here.
We don't take kindly to those who don't take kindly
to our kind.
Oh, shut the hell up, Skater.
4 actors wielded the shield before Chris Evans' in-screen adaptations of Captain America. Going all the way back to 1944, Captain America has seen his fair share of screen time. The first was Dick Purcell in the Captain America film serial of 1944. Dick Purcell, formerly known as Richard Gerald Purcell Jr., played Captain America in a 1940s film serial also starring Lorna Gray and Lionel Atwill. While film serials are non-existent today, they were a major form of entertainment in the first half of the 20th century.
I was really hoping that was going to say Lionel Richie.
Hello? The captain you're looking for?
They consisted of a series of short subjects or chapters, similar to TV episodes, and were exhibited in consecutive order. I don't know why I said conclusive. Were exhibited in consecutive order. Each chapter was shown in theaters and screened for a week before the following one was released. Purcell is most known for starring as Captain America in the film serial. However, he also appeared in several crime dramas throughout the 1930s and 40s, including Heroes in Blue, the Bank Dick, and Bullets for Balance.
That's pretty cool, though.
We're such children.
Stupid fucking name.
Bank Dick. They said Dick.
The second actor to don the shield was... Oh, good fuck. Tekken Akaya.
Sure.
In 3 Dev
Sure
Adam. 3 Dev Adam, a Turkish cult superhero film translating to 3 Giant Men, was based on characters created by Stan Lee. Steve Ditko was based on characters created by Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, and Rodolfo Guzman Huerta. The movie features Tekken Akaya. Sorry. You gotta.
And you have to say it one more time too.
That's fine. The movie features Tekken Akaya as Captain America. That doesn't sound very American to me, but whatever.
Well, it's a Turkish film.
I know. I guess. I just thought it was funny that a Turkish guy's playing Captain America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep reading. It's better.
Oh, God. Yeah, it features that guy as Captain America on a mission to stop a villainous Spider-Man and his criminal gang. Am I high right now?
Yep.
Tekken Akaya starred in other Turkish films throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. However, more recently, he starred in 2 TV movies, one in 2006 and one in 2008.
That's good.
Fuck those movies.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna
This
watch
ain't
them.
this episode ain't about him anyway. Fuck
Yeah.
him.
No.
I love those fighting games. Tekken.
The 4th one was really cool.
I played a little bit of Tekken 7 at Gaming Con.
Fuck it.
The third super soldier was Reb Brown. Who is in charge of names here? Reb Brown in 1979's Captain America. Back when superheroes were still allowed to look like regular men in tights, Reb Brown starred...
Manly men in tights.
They roam around the forest looking for fights.
Yeah, they look for fights.
We need to break you 2 up.
No, it's fine. Back when superheroes were still allowed to look like regular men in tights, Reb Brown starred as a modestly muscular Captain America in the 79 film.
So I'm going to start referring to myself as I'm moderately muscular.
It's on your Tinder bio. Moderately muscular.
I'm moderately muscular, you know.
I'm up there. Reb Brown's journey as Captain America focuses on Steve Rogers' physical enhancement and subsequent retaliation against his would-be killers. The 1979 Captain America was a made-for-TV film also starring Len Berman, Heather Menzies, and... I couldn't. I was trying so hard with that one.
I didn't even read ahead, so that hit me like as soon as you said it.
And Robert,
Jobin.
say slicker. And Robin Matson. Reb Brown went on to star in several other action hero movies throughout the 1980s. Brown most recently appeared in Surge of Power, Revenge of the Sequel.
What? What's that?
Let's just leave it alone. We don't need to go down that
Last
road.
paragraph. Let's bring it home.
Yeah, alright. The last actor before Chris Evans was Matt Salinger in 1990. The 90s film Captain America pitted the hero against his most infamous foe, Red Skull, who planned to give the president a brain implant. Unfortunately, I mean, wouldn't that be better? I mean, if the president doesn't have a brain, you kind of want to give him one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with a mere 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, ouch, Matt Salinger did not go on to receive acclaim for his performance. You think?
They should redo that story arc for today's president.
No, I know, huh? And many felt he did not do the character justice. The 1990s film was also a low-budget movie that received little attention upon its release. Matt Salinger is still active in the entertainment sphere. He is set to appear in the film Liberté, A Call to Spy, which sounds phenomenal. Based on that.
Libert!
That's a beautiful title. It sounds like what's that what's that one actor who used to do like, oh god, he's the white guy that like still to this day, like he's a cop now, like he does all that. He's still got the ponytail.
Steven Seagal.
Yes, that sounds like a Steven Seagal title.
Is that comedian where he's like, if you go to Louisiana, there's a small chance you'll get pulled over by Steven Seagal. I think it was Tom Segura.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right. He is set to appear in the film Liberté, A Call to Spy, which is currently in post-production with an expected 2019 release date. In the early 2000s, Matt Salinger starred as Mark Canar in the TV series 24. You may also recognize him as Seth Webster from Law & Order SVU, or as Reverend Hanley in What Dreams May Come. What Dreams May Come is a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
Such a good movie. Anyway.
Sorry, those are so hard to read. I wrote all of those myself. What? Liberté.
Libert.
Well, that concludes our Captain America episode. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the... I should get a little closer. On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcourtpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to help us punch Hitler in the face, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcourtpodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to secret episodes and bonus content. So for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Nick Lewis.
And I'm Derek Reese.
Peace.
Fuck you, communism. Fuck you,
damn Nazi scum.
Goddamn
That's the way the cookie crumbles.